Hello everybody, if you are watching this video then obviously you know we made money, and if you watched the previous video then you also have made money today. You would have made money today. So what we're going to do real quick is we're going to review what the last talking points on the oil video was, and we're going to see how it held up. So I'm going to play a little bit of it, and while that's cooking we're going to listen.
Short squeeze. The shorts are way too crowded. The producers want a higher print. The physical bid is incoming. The risk to reward ratio going into May 31st is asymmetric to the upside. That's the hypothesis. The crash today, this is the entry point. If you're watching this on May 24th, crude is currently priced at around 91.5 to 92. This is the great entry time. I have multiple entries waiting at 91, at 88 in.
Okay, so let's go over the two entries that I had placed. I set a limit buy at 91, and that was around 25% of the entry, and the second dump catch was at 88. What does that average out? That averages out to a little bit under 90. Now, this position that we entered with a little bit of under 90, let's see what my price predictions were.
In case we do see a little dump before it does rally up, my targets for the end of the month is around 95, 96.
Okay, so we said the targets was 95, 96. Now it's important to understand that since I'm giving exact prices in advance, this is something that we, go day by day. So many things happen on a daily basis that changes have to be made to a certain extent. But you could also see based off the oil prices, let's go ahead and have a look here. Let me zoom this in. And then what I'm going to do is, my apologies, everybody. I'm going to move myself to the bottom left. Okay, so let's go over this graph. This was around when I was giving this call out. I think it was right around this vicinity. And we said that the entries was, we wanted to catch it at 91. And then we said in case it dumps, we want to catch it at the 88. So this is how we averaged out our entry. And then we said the target that we're aiming for was 95, 96. And today, what happened is we peaked at 94.51. Now, it is important to, be completely honest. I was taking profits, as soon as we reached 93, 94. And I didn't actually reach all the way to the peak. I got out, the average exit price was around 94.25. But the reasoning behind that is because I sense a lot of instability, and I was more than happy with the victory that I had. Now, I did leave around 15 to 25% of my initial position remaining in there, and I still am holding 15 to 25% of my position. Now, my apologies, everybody. I did trim a very slight amount when Trump posted a very specific post today. Now, I have push notifications on multiple sources. So whenever these posts come out, if it's a post that has to do with oil, I, right away get a notification because, anyone that knows this knows Trump is posting out like 100 posts a day, and it's just absolutely absurd to try to follow everything. So when I seen this specific post, I knew that this was going to dump the markets to a certain extent, and it definitely did push the markets down, and that was when I trimmed around 10 to 15% of the remaining position that I had open, just kind of as a risk management, and I ended up putting my stop loss a little bit under the 90 point, right, in case that, because you're never 100% certain how people are going to react to certain news, and sometimes they like to blow things out of proportion. So in that reasoning, I did trim down, but overall, beautiful execution, beautiful call. We had an average entry of around 89 point something, 89.5 or so, 89.3, because we did have a larger entry at the 88 than we had at the 91, which brought down the average entry price. And throughout the week, a lot of people were assuming that oil wasn't going to rebound and it was the end for oil. And if you looked at the funding rates across many different exchanges, you would be silly to assume that oil was about to rally up, but as we prevailed, as we have finally, shone light, we are victorious today. And that is exactly why we are smiling. We are happy. We made money. And I hope other people made money. And the main reason of this video is just to kind of review. And if I did say something, like let's say if oil did go down to 75, I would have made this video regardless, just to review where I would have, where I made my mistakes. And for me to learn and for me to be completely transparent with everybody here, just like the last video on the NVIDIA earnings. I did say that when I came back to grade my video, I should have bought AMD, but actually we bought SMC and we bought TSM, and all of them were, in the green, and they're still rallying till today. So I hope you guys are enjoying these crazy volatile days in the markets, and I hope everybody the best. I will be posting another call out very shortly. We're just, only really pushing out calls when we have high certainty and the risk to reward ratio makes significant sense. Otherwise, I wouldn't, put something out there. Thank you guys so much. Have a great, lovely week.